John Tortorella left with an injury last game. Do you have any update if he'll be able to come back to you guys? Or
Not sure, day to day.
okay.
There's been a lot, if you go back to January, there's been a lot of noise, it seems, around this team. It's all, go to trade. And, I know some of that's related to some of the stuff that you say in press conferences and whatnot, but when there's so much going on around one team and it seems like it's one thing after another, do you ever worry about the group in the room maybe responding in an adverse way?
No.
Just, is it not with this group because you've talked about how close they are, or is it just you have to tune that out as a pro athlete?
I think both. I think this is a pretty special group, and I think all the athletes need to learn to tune stuff out, and I think they've done a really good job of that. Yeah, but I think it's a group that's just locked in together, and I don't think too much is going to affect them. I'm not sure there's always noise around teams in professional sports. I'm not sure which noise we're talking about. I don't know.
Well, we go back to the Gauthier trade, just talking
Yeah.
about Carter Hart.
Yeah.
You getting kicked out of a game, frankly,
Yeah.
in Tampa.
Yeah.
All that stuff sort of resonates with a national audience,
Yeah.
right? And those guys are all, you've talked about the modern athlete, those guys are all on social media, I'm sure. But at the same time, some of those guys said they just kind of laugh about it and it helps bring them together.
Yeah, I do think. See, I'm at a disadvantage, and certainly not an insult to you guys. I just don't read it. I just there's too many other things that I need to worry about, and I'm not as in tune to what's going on. Bigger stuff, of course, with Cutter and all that stuff going on, and but I do think sometimes it helps a team. I think if you handle it the right way, it helps the team, and I know we have a close group down there, and one thing we are, from coaches, Danny, Jonesy, the players, we are transparent down there. And there's no wondering what the guy's thinking. To me, that's the most important thing, is from our ownership right on down that we're transparent with one another. And I think we've done a pretty good job being transparent with you guys, too. I think that's so important, especially when we're in this situation and building this team. So everybody has a chance to say what they want to say. And I think that's really important. And what happens, if you're truthful and you're honest and you care, there's going to be conflict because not everybody's going to agree. Right. You work through that together, I think that even helps the room even more. So I think that's what's gone on here, and I think it's really healthy. Everybody gets freaked out around us sometimes when there's some truth said or honesty brought out. I think it's so healthy because there's no agenda. I think it's so important for a locker room.
So when you say what you say after the game 2 days ago about maybe certain guys not having what
Yes.
this time of year,
Yes.
you don't. Obviously, you're. I'm sure there's truth to that coming from you because
Yes.
you're pissed off about the second
Ye-
period.
yes.
You don't worry about any of that in the room. Maybe guys taking it the wrong way. You expect that they're handle it the right way.
If-
they know where they stand with you.
Yes.
So that makes you maybe less afraid to say something.
Yeah, I don't remember it all, but it's not just the second period. As I watch the tape, to me, it's more than just the second period, and I don't worry about that. If a player, or it always comes down to, right? It always comes down, they're going to quit on him. It follows me around. And so be it. If a player's going to quit on me, or players are going to quit on me because I'm trying to make them better people and better athletes, you got the wrong damn coach here, and you got the wrong damn people here. So I'm not sure what goes on. My job is I am going to push athletes, and I try to stay away from I have other things on my mind that I don't give you. I was in control the other night. What I said I meant, and quite honestly, when I watch the tape now, I'm more concerned than just the second period, because I'm so proud of the team getting here. And I guess now the narrative out there is, because I've heard from other people, that they're young, they're not supposed to be here. Bullshit. We're here. We're here. Face it. And let's be better. And I don't think we're ready to be better. And that's my problem with us right now. And it is my job. I have not done a good enough job to get them over the hump after playing those 7 games. And then each game as it goes down, we have 6 left. I haven't done a good enough job to make them understand we have to be different now. We have to be at a different level. That's my frustration with me, and that's my frustration with the team. And if people can't handle it, so be it.
How do you go about that? Is it how you address them, how you talk to the guys, or is it through through the practices? Like, how do you get them over that hump then?
Yes, it's through conversation. I think it's really important. And this is just the way we do it here. There's not a lot of one-on-one meetings here. All our meetings, whether it be good, bad, on a particular player, whatever, it's done right in the line. As we just talked, it's transparency. Because I think when you're coaching certain individuals, I think you can group that into when I'm coaching this guy that I'm not happy with or happy with, I'm also coaching the other guys when you do it in a group setting. I used to do it. You bring them in your office. They won't say anything to you because they're sitting across from you. You're sitting there. Some coaches even have a chair that's higher. They try to look down on the player back in the day, right? I don't do it that way. It's off the cuff. It's in the room, and who knows where it goes. I'm always prepared to go whichever way it wants to go, but I think it's healthy that way. I don't think we should be afraid of that. I don't think we should make it a big deal. Sometimes you guys make a big deal out of it. And I get it's your job and all that, but it's not a big deal. It's just honesty. And I want the same respect. I think it's respectful to be honest that way. I want the same honesty back. The player come at me if he needs to come at me. And that's happened too. And it turns into a really healthy situation.
I got the sense talking to the players down in the room a few minutes ago that it seems like, and this might not be even something that you talk to them about, but it seems like they are trying to tap back into the no one believed in us from the start of the season. We believed in us, and we still do.
Yeah.
Is that something that coaches are reminding them, or do you think that's purely a player-driven thing?
I have my meeting. I think the players. I think the players this time of year, and I think that room needs to talk amongst one another without the coaches there. I think they need to have those conversations. I think we're in there way too much. We have stepped away a lot this year. We're going in there tomorrow because I think it's a very important meeting tomorrow before we get practicing again to talk about our mindset. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but I think we got a pretty important day coming tomorrow as we start our road trip here to make sure we're thinking correctly. And make no mistake about it, I am proud of our team. I love from day one when you could see this room come together. I love coming to the rink and working with these guys, but it's my job to make sure they understand where we're at now. We're not regular season now. We have put ourselves in this spot. Let's not fade away and say, you know what, we're not even supposed to be here. That sucks. We're here, and that's where I think I've done a shitty job. I want to make sure, I guess I'm giving you a little bit of the background of a meeting. I want to make sure we're going to go at this the proper way to give ourselves, so when April, when are we done? 15th? When 15th, 16th, we don't say, God damn, why didn't I do that? Why didn't we get to that level? I don't want regrets. I don't know if we get in. I don't know what happens, but I don't want us to fade now. It's not fading and trying to stay away from it. It's about getting to another level. And I do think some guys are struggling to get there. And I think it can be taught. Some guys have it in them. But to get to another level, a level you don't even think you know about, that can be taught. That's part of my job. So that's what I want to happen. And whether we succeed or not, at least we can look ourselves in the mirror at the end of it and say, we tried. And we're not there. We're not there now. And we have time to get there, but we're running out of it.
Are you leaning on guys like Eric Johnson then here and Mark Stahl?
No, I haven't talked to them about this at all. There's no individual person I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to sick you on them. Because I think that needs to come from within. That needs to come through experiences on the ice, in between periods and stuff like that. And I think this is such a great spot to be for us where we're at. And I'll give you, no, I know we didn't think we were going to be here, you know, but we're here. That's the point I'm trying to make. We're here. Don't talk yourself down. Talk yourself up, and don't let other people talk yourself down. And I think it's a great challenge for us here, and I'm looking forward to how the coaches handle it, and I'm really looking forward to how the players handle it, see if we can find our way.
Yeah, I was going to ask, can it be dangerous not to fall into that trap where there are fans and people out there maybe sympathizing with saying this is a rebuilding team, they shouldn't be here? Is it hard to not fall into that trap? If you want to win, you better not even think about going there. And it's no disrespect. I'm not disrespecting the fans or you guys. We need to create our own narrative down there. We need to create our own mindset down there. That's my job, is to create that. And then let's run with it. So we just need to block it out. I get that. Everybody has to report on stuff, and everybody has their feelings, and you have a perfect right to them. We need to block that out and create our – and to me, it's mindset. Mindset is a very important part of what we're going to talk about tomorrow as we start a 6-game sprint here and find out what we're made of.
You mentioned when Nick Seeler came back that one of the things you missed was his professionalism. And we can see what it means on the ice, but off the ice, when you've got so many young defensemen, how have you seen him impact his team this way, just with the young guys, the Yorks, the Drysdales, the Jennings, the Adders, when they've been on?
Yeah, and Nick Seeler doesn't have to say a word to any one of them. I don't even know if he does or not. You know, if you can't follow his lead, and as far as how he plays, and learn from that as a young defenseman, or as a player, not even a position, just a player, and how he competes, then you're missing the boat because he's right there in your locker room. You know, a lot of times you try to emulate a player, and it may be an opposing player, but he's right there sitting next to you. That's a huge part of what Seals brings here. I watched him play the other night, and he is all over the map. And so I'm saying, no, don't go there, and then he makes a great play, or he gets to the puck, or he's a trier. And if we can't use that as an example right now where we're at, where I think some guys are at, listen, I think we're trying, okay, guys? I think we're playing hard. Who cares? Everybody plays hard. The team that gets in, the team that keeps on growing and become that team, that's a given, playing hard. That's your job. That's what Seals goes into a whole different area, and I think people can watch that, and I think that's where our team needs to get to.
You talked about having an open book with guys when you first got here, not knowing anybody.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch the way he plays, is he, I guess if you were going to draw a picture of what a John Tortorella player is, would it be Nick Seeler? Would he kind of fit that definition?
Well, I don't think it's a John Tortorella player. I think it's any coaches or any organization that wants an example as far as the competitive mindset that he has, wants around. Remember, when I came here, Seals was, he retired, and I'm not sure what he was doing. He wasn't sure. He wasn't happy. And then when I came here, he was on the board, but really not a lot of discussion about him. He's grown into that guy that, listen, he makes a ton of mistakes, as we all do, as all the players do, but you grow with him because of just the way he carries himself. You see the shot he blocked the other – I didn't realize it during the game. He was on one side of the net. I think it was in the power play. It came over one-timer, and he just ran across the net, hit him in the shoulder. I'm not sure if you guys remember. But he's all over the place. But he is just such a competitor, and I think that's, as what we're talking about most of this session here, we need to get a few other guys in that area too. I'm not sure if someone can get close to where he's at, but we got to get him bumped up, and it gives us a much better opportunity as we play these games.
Yeah.
Jackie, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, is this the way you guys have played on the road this year? Is this a good time to get on the road?
I think it's a good time. Yeah, I know everybody says that, but I really feel this is a good time because I think we can bunker down together here and and do it together. This has got to be done together, but it's my job to make sure we're on the right path. And I don't think I've done a good enough job of that here the past couple of weeks because I think sometimes coaches need to be with the team. I've explained that to you guys. You're coaching Adams sometimes. You need to be with them this time of year. But we've got to straighten some things out. And it's an important time for coaches and players to understand what we're all thinking together. And hopefully we'll get there.